From ancient ruins to living fossils, Japanese use characters called kanji, or hanzi in Chinese. Kanji derived from Chinese characters that Japan incorporated into its writing system through over 2,000 years of trade and cultural exchange. Next, we visit a museum in Kyoto set up by the Japan Kanji Aptitude Testing Foundation to learn more about the wisdom behind this pictographic writing system. Take a look.
In February 2020, Japan sent 8 packages to the Chinese province of Hubei. The provincial capital, Wuhan, was the epicenter of the coronavirus epidemic. The 8 packages came with an 8-character poem which surprised many Chinese people. Mountain, river, different region, wind, moon, same sky. Which means among mountains and rivers of different lands, the wind and the moon are the same under heaven. The poem was written over 1,300 years ago by Japan's Emperor Tenmu's grandson, Prince Nagaya, and was sent to Tang Dynasty monk KANJI. It showed the depth and history of China and Japan's cultural exchange through religion, literature, and philosophy, and influenced Japan's writing system, the kanji or hanji.
Here in Kyoto's Kanji Museum, we can learn more about the Japanese writing system, how it derived from Chinese characters and evolved to the current Japanese language.
Before Chinese characters entered Japan, the country did not have a writing system. All communications were done verbally. That changed when Chinese characters were introduced from China. Now the Japanese were able to maintain records, memoirs, passing on knowledge to the next generation. The Kanji Museum also explains how Japanese started to create its own characters from the Chinese characters.
Buddhist monks studied scriptures. Scriptures that originated in ancient India came into Japan in the form of classical Chinese characters and style. The scriptures were complex and the characters were difficult to read. So the monks started to write signs beside the Chinese characters, noting how to pronounce them. They took a part of a Chinese character to describe the song. That later became what we call katakana, Japanese-made characters.
The museum is not all about difficult historical studies. It also provides fun and games for children to learn how kanji were formed from animals or nature. One can also learn the characters of all kinds of fish through revolving sushi games, which is popular among students. One can also learn that by importing characters from China, Japan received a cultural asset.
The characters that Japan began to use were originally characters used in China with an advanced culture. In other words, the characters used in China allowed Japan to adopt advanced culture from China, such as medicine and tools. Japanese were able to learn about them by reading records imported from China.
China has a long history of civilization. This came to Japan together with their Chinese characters, and we can see the influence in our culture. Buddhist temples and literature are remnants of the Chinese coming to Japan. I think the culture that was brought together with the Chinese characters also contributed towards the development of Japanese civilization.
The museum hopes that people will learn more about the history of kanji and attraction of using them as a communication tool.
Kanji requires a lot of time and effort to learn, but when you look at an alphabet, it's a phonetic symbol. One will not know what the word means without reading the words out loud. But kanji are the same in China and Japan. One can know what is written at a glance. You can comprehend what is written at an instant. I want young people to understand more about how useful it is and the attraction of kanji.
Kanji did not only provide Japan with its own writing system, but means for China and Japan to share their cultures. The characters continue to evolve, as with the culture of the two neighbors and their relations. Terence Tereshima, CGTN, Kyoto.